Hi y'all, welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Marissa. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, that like button, and give this video a share. In this video, I am going to talk about the worst tattoo artist I've ever encountered. I mean, to be fair, I haven't encountered much. But does she grind my gears? Whoo! Alright, so if you want to learn more and to see kind of what the hell happened, let's jump right on it. Where do I begin? To start, I'm already testy. Want to know why I'm testy? Because I worked all weekend, per usual. I'm used to it. I enjoy it. I like my job. I work retail, so you just kind of know where this is headed. I don't know what crawled up all their butts, but I was not having it. People were being nasty, and they were being mean, and they were ignoring me, and I was just trying to be nice. I'm always trying to be nice. So anyways, I'm testy because of that. So I figured I'd just continue being testy and talk about this. Because when I talk about it and when I think about it, I get very, very, very upset. Also, I'm a very overly dramatic human, in case y'all haven't picked up on that. Alright, before I get to the very juicy part, and the very reason you're probably watching this video, but I gotta give backstory. Because if I don't give backstory, you're not gonna understand how fucking irritated I am about everything. And it's literally been 2 years. 2. To start, I've had many tattoos. So I've dealt with a lot of artists. I have 6 tattoos, and then I have the half sleeve. In almost every single tattoo, there's been a different artist. So that's at least 6 or 7 artists. I've come a long way though. I used to not really understand tattooing etiquette, like when to show up, don't bring 6 people, you need to make an appointment, and you need to tip them like you fucking mean it, because they just did hella good work permanently on your body. So why the hell would you tip them 20 bucks? Like, the fuck? No. Now my policy is I don't get a tattoo unless I can afford to tip how much they deserve. Should be everyone's policy. Write it in gold. So I decided I wanted to get my first big piece. I've only ever had script and I had a little design, but for the most part, they're all scripts. If you're wanting to know what all my tattoos are, the meaning behind them, as well as see my actual piece, I will link that video down below. I did a whole video about all of my tattoos, the meaning, why I got them, when I got them, what the hell is my hair doing? I don't know. But yeah, I decided to get a big piece. It is a owl with a sugar skull in it. If I can figure out how to do it, I'll put them right here. And I'll actually put the actual image that I showed my artist when I was showing her inspo. To start out, I found an artist. It was a female. We'll name her Bree. So I walked in there, I asked for Bree. I was like, hey, this is the tattoo that I want. And she's like, I could do that, but in my own style. And I'm like, yeah, that's what I want. Like, I don't want this exact one. I just want an owl with a sugar skull and that kind of design, but make it your style. I like your style. She was like, down, awesome, cool, I got this. I paid, I think $200 for my deposit, even though it was only like, I want to say 100, maybe less. I don't know. I paid 200 down. I was like, I'm serious about this. Like, yes. Also because I wanted to make sure that like funds aligned well. They did. I paid fine. I came in for my appointment. I only brought Vivian, not 6 friends. Hi, Viv. So she only took about an hour and a half. It wasn't that long. It was a big piece. Like, he is a monstrosity on my arm. My parents will not be very happy. I almost got disowned. I go home, I'm healing, everything's fine. I have a few weeks before my next appointment to get everything filled, and 2 weeks later, I get a phone call. Hey, Marissa, she moved. What? Who moved? Huh? Oh, your artist. Yeah, she moved. What? But yeah, this guy here will do it. I'm like, no. you're not doing it. I said no right on the spot, obviously. I hadn't seen his work, so I don't know if his style would complement her style and the shading would turn out how I wanted. Like, this is permanently on my body. It's gonna look good. A year and a half goes by and I finally decide, hey, I want a half sleeve. So I want to turn this bad boy into a half sleeve. Obviously it wasn't gonna be her because she moved. So I'm doing some research, trying to find people. There's like styles that I like, but it wasn't quite there. It's really hard trying to find an artist, like super hard. Finally, I stumble across this girl and I'm gonna call her, you wanna know how my thought process works? I was gonna call her Amber, but then Amber made me think of Teen Mom 2. And then I was like, who do I hate from Teen Mom 2? And I don't like Janelle. And I was like, oh, maybe I should call her Janelle. And whew, my mind. You don't wanna be inside it. It's fucking odd. But I'm gonna call her Amber. We're gonna stick with Amber. I message Amber and I'm like, cause her Instagram says, message me to book appointments. And I'm like, dope. I message her, I'm like, hey, I'm looking and wanting to do a half sleeve. Would you be willing to meet and have a consultation? Is this something you'd be down for? She's like, yeah, of course, absolutely. So before I meet with her, I wanna like collect everything together and have like all the pieces that I want and all my thoughts kind of down and organized. So I have like a notes folder and I have a folder on my camera roll on my iPad of like images from Pinterest that I like. So since it is a Harry Potter design and that summer I was leaving to go to London for a week because I wanted to go to the Wizarding World of Harry Potter there and see, you know, where they filmed and all of the sets and the costumes. Like I was super, super excited. A month later, I was going to the Wizarding World of Harry Potter in Florida. So it was a Harry Potter themed summer and I was so excited. Anyways, I wanted that done for that and I knew I wasn't gonna be able to have everything done. I wanted just at least just the outline. So I had to make that clear to her because sometimes artists want to do the actual thing in shade or do piece by piece by piece. So I made sure to like write that down to talk to her about. So when I'm collecting everything, I just want to preface that I wasn't taking like other tattoos and other people's artwork and being like, this is exactly what I want, because I don't do that. If I find an artist, like I find an artist because I like their style, that's why I want them. So I just take images of like, oh, I like the concept of that stag, but I like the concept of this flower and the concept of this moon. So I show it to her, I'm like, this is kind of what I'm wanting. Can you put your spin on it and put it in your style? It's the day that I meet with her and I get there and she comes out and we're talking. She's super nice, super sweet. Everything's going great. I'm showing her all the concepts and my idea. And you know, I tell her, I was like, is it okay if we do the outline first? And then after that, we'll go with shading. And she's like, yeah, of course, absolutely. Like, I get it. The outline's the cheapest of all of it. Shading's a lot more expensive. And so she was down for it. She was like, that's great. And also, if at some point you're like, hey, money's tight, but I'm trying to get this finished, I'll try and alter it to where it'll be shorter or different so it's not as expensive but still finished. So like she was really excited and like really invested into it already. So I was super excited. She was super excited. We were both super excited. So what could go wrong? A lot can go wrong. So I show up for my first appointment, everything goes well. She starts the first pieces. The first piece she did was a moon over here. She freehanded it. It was a mandala moon, so there's like a lot of detailing to it. She did that, and then she freehanded some lily flowers like right over here, and it turned out great. Like I completely put trust in her when she was like, do you care if I freehand it? And I'm like, no, go for it. She did it. It looks awesome. You'll see in that video. That took about 2 hours, so I paid for the 2 hours. The way she charged is she charged by hour. $150 an hour, so I paid $300 plus a very generous tip because she fucking killed it. She deserved a tip. I leave, I go home, I'm resting, doing what I'm supposed to be doing to let this heal. I come back for my next appointment to continue on, and so in this appointment, we're supposed to do the stag, the one piece that I was most excited for. So the way it planned out is she would do this piece and the flower the first session. The next session, we would do the stag and maybe some more flowers down below. And then the final session, she would do the inner part, clock, and then any filling she needed to do here. And that would be perfect in the amount of time that I had before I needed to leave for London. So I show up. This this is where shit starts to fucking crumble. So buckle in, bitches. This is where you're gonna see me get testy. I'm a very overdramatic person, so like, bear with me. I show up, and I'm a person who shows up 10 to 15 minutes early, usually more so 10, because I don't want to be too early. But I want to be there early enough so that the artist can clean up from their last session, get prepared for the next session myself, and then get the stencil ready, as well as place the stencil, and if we have to take it off or if they need to resize it, try it again. So all of that can be done before the session starts. I have a lot of artists that compliment me on that because apparently people show up late or they do no shows because people are scumbags. I show up to my appointment about 10 minutes early. I get there, I tell the lady, hey, I'm here, my appointment's in 10 minutes. Like, I don't remember the time frame, but it was like the evening time. I do remember that. I just can't remember when exactly in the evening because this was like 2 years ago. 5 minutes after the start of my appointment time, the lady comes back and she's like, hey, she's running a little bit late, she'll be done soon. I'm like, okay, that's fine, like whatever, things happen, people run late. 45 minutes later, the lady comes back. She's like, oh, she's almost done. I'm like, what the do you mean almost done? Like, this is more than a little late over. She finishes, she cleans everything up, and then my artist comes out and she's like, hey, I'm hungry, I haven't eaten all day. And I'm like, go eat. Like, I'm like twitching on the inside, like, are you fucking serious, bitch? I want to get started. But on the outside and kind of on the inside, I'm like, I don't want this lady tattooing me while she's hungry. I feel like that's just not a good idea. We're already 45 minutes late. Like, what is another couple minutes for her to eat? She takes like 15 minutes to eat. I'm like, at this point, it's been over an hour since my appointment was supposed to start. And we're not even at the part where this makes her the worst tattoo artist ever. Sit down. Ready to get started. I'm ready to get this stag on my arm because I'm super pumped, super excited. She asked me, she's like, hey, I've had some no-shows and cancellations, and like, I really needed to get some like full pieces like posted on my Instagram to show people my work. And I'm like listening, like, cool, but like, we already talked about what the fuck that I want. So she's like, do you care if I do a little bit of shading first? And I'm like, you know what, fine, do it. I don't care. I didn't say it like that. I was like, okay, yeah, sure, that's fine. Because I'm a pussy. She shades a little bit. She probably does about 30 minutes to 45 minutes of shading. And she stops. I'm like, maybe she's taking a break. No, she's not taking a break. She's done. She says to me, okay, well, the shop's closing up now, so let me get you wrapped up. Bitch, what? Shop closes in an hour and a half. Hour and 15. What? You did like 2 minutes of shading and now my session's over? Like, what the fuck? What? Oh. Deep breaths, Marissa. Deep breaths. Here's where the kicker starts. We are still not there yet, but we're getting close. I promise you, we are getting close. She looks at me and she goes, that'll be 300. 300? She's like, yeah. I guess she saw that I gave her a look, like, not like, but what? Like a genuinely confused look. Because like I said before, she charges $150 an hour. So $300 would be 2 hours. Dos. I think that's French. It's been a while, sorry. So then she immediately follows up with, I'll see what you've paid and what we have left to do, and then whatever is left will just kind of follow over to your next appointment as like a deposit. I'm like, okay, that sounds fine. Most people, you know, have to make a deposit every time that they make an appointment, so that seems understandable. Like, what reason did I not have to trust her? Like, today, yeah, that was shitty, like, really shitty, but what can you do? But most of all, I was just really, really, really disappointed because the one piece that I was so excited for was the stag. So I was really disappointed to be leaving with the piece that I was most excited for. And the piece that she kept saying last session, yeah, next week we'll do the stag. Next time we'll do the stag. Next time we'll do the stag. So it was just upsetting and frustrating, and I was over it at that point. So I left. Obviously I paid. I tipped, but I didn't tip as amazingly as last time because she kind of fucked me over. And I was gonna make an appointment before I left, but when I tried to make the appointment, the schedules weren't aligning because I was leaving for London, which she knew because the plan that we had set. Deep breaths, Marissa, deep breaths. It's gonna be fine. It's going to be fine. So now the plan's all fucked up, and I'm going to London without the piece that I wanted, as well as without the whole fucking outline that I had intended. But I let it go. I'm like, whatever. I'll start it back up when I get home, which she says. She's like, okay, so this is when you come home. I'm like, yes. She's like, okay, I will call you and we'll book your appointment. I was like, perfect, awesome. I'm here for it. I get back that week. I don't hear from her. Strange. I decide on Friday that I will call on Tuesday because the shop's closed on Monday. So I call Tuesday and I'm like, hey, I'm trying to book my appointment. I haven't heard back from Amber. I shit you fucking not. This is what the on the phone said. I'm sorry, she moved. What? Yeah, she moved. Where? Because at this point, I will drive. The lady before moved like 5 hours away, and I didn't want to drive that. But hell, if this lady moved 6 hours away, I would have driven. No, she wasn't 6 hours away. She wasn't 3 hours away. She moved to the other side of the damn country. I'm in West Virginia. She moves to California. I'm pissed. Because if you're not picking up why I'm pissed, let me fill you in. Do you remember the last session that I had when I paid for 2 hours but received 30, maybe 45 minutes of service, and she would roll over the remaining to the next appointment? I don't get a next appointment because the bitch gone. So she basically stole like $200 from me. Hope you enjoyed that $200, Amber. Hope you enjoyed it. So I made the mistake of telling my mother. My mom messaged her, because that's my mom. Sorry if you can hear Ollie whining. He whines all the time. There's literally nothing that I can do. Like, I will feed him. I will take him out to go to the bathroom. We will go on a 20-minute walk. He will be pooped. He will come home and he will stare at me and he will whine. Like, he will literally be in my lap looking me dead in the eyes and continue to whine. He's over dramatic like me. It's fine. No, it's not. But whatever. Anyways, my mom messages her and she's like, listen, you moved. You stole money from my daughter. That's not cool. And so Amber's like, oh, well, yeah, things just didn't pan out. Sorry. I was like, I don't care that you're sorry. I care that you stole money from us. This exchange goes on and Amber's finally like, I'm going to be there back in the fall. I got to finish it. So Amber's finally like, well, I'm going to be back in the fall. I got a few pieces I need to finish. I can do the remaining stuff that I need to do on your daughter's arm. I was like, okay, that's fine. Can y'all guess what I'm about to tell you? Can you guess? Yeah, you're right. She did not come back in the fall. So I didn't get my piece. I did not get my money's worth of tattooing that I paid for. So of course, my mom's like, you don't have any more tattoo on my arm. I'm like, yeah, the bitch didn't show back up. Mom messages her again, and now she's threatening her, not like, I'm gonna end your life, like threatening her like, I'm gonna call my lawyers are gonna get involved, like, you scammed us, like, that's not right, like, you cannot do this, like, you're not gonna get away from it. With it. Whew, words. And she's starting to like be a crybaby and be like, no, What the fuck did you expect? You stole money from somebody. Like, what the fuck? Like, I could maybe understand had I been someone who showed up late, who was nitpicky about her tattoo, who was changing things last minute, who was super rude, who was moving all the time, who, I don't know, was just a shit person. And then maybe it would have been like, okay, well, that's karma. I deserve that. I didn't deserve that. Like, I was a fucking model. I was a fucking model client. Like, showed up early. I gave you my designs, but I told you to put your spin on it. I said you could add something if you find something that you think would be dope in it. I tipped well. I showed up for my appointments. Like, I showed up. To this day, I am still very much heated about it all. So yeah, my tattoo is still unfinished. It will remain unfinished until I save up a bunch of money to where I can start doing it again, because I will pay for quality work. Some people may be like, oh my god, 150 is a lot an hour, and I'm like, if the work is that good, then I'm gonna pay it. And I'm also gonna tip. So like, rule of thumb is if you don't have the money to tip, you don't have the money to get the tattoo. Just how the world works. It's never been resolved, so I'm still out $200. So to Amber, if for some reason she would stumble upon this video, and she'll know who she is. She will know who she is. I fucking hate your guts. That is all. Well, that is all for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. It was quite a video. Definitely not the makeup route, but I thought it was pretty entertaining. I like telling stuff like that. I don't know if you guys do. Hopefully you did. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I don't have a lot of this kind of stuff. I mean, there's a lot of shit that's happened in my life that I could talk about. So if you want me to do more kind of story time videos like this, there's not going to be a ton of them, but there's going to be a few. So I can definitely do that if that's something y'all would want. Just let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share this video. Follow me on all the social media as well. It is Marissa Camilla S on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and then my Snapchat is msensa. Everything will kind of display at the end as well, so that'll be helpful too. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, y'all.